Hi, I'm Asha. I am clinical documentation specialist. I worked in this role about a little over 2 years, 2.5 years now, and I recently got certified. So when I was looking to take the exam for certification, and I wanted to get some information, and I was searching online to see what information is out there, so that I can get a little bit familiar with the process before I take the exam. So I didn't find a whole lot of information, but I did find the ACDIS website. So what I did is I googled clinical documentation specialist certification, and it's the second choice that comes up, and you click it. It takes you to their website directly, and on the left hand side you have a couple of different choices. So you can pick the certification, and you scroll down and you get to about the bottom of the page, and you see candidate handbook. Click on it. You can download it, copy it, print it, whatever you like to do. And this is what it looks like. And this has all the information that you need to know to on how to prepare, how to go about sending out the application, things like that. All the information that you need to know is in there. So you have your handbook, and you go online and you register for the exam. And once you register, then you call and schedule for your exam. And they have testing available at a couple of different centers near you. So you just pick and choose the time you like to go take the test. And so you get in mail, you get something that looks like this, and it has the expiration date on, like, I think it's about a year. I think it's about a year that you have before after the application to the time you take the exam. I won't wait a year though. So this is what you get, and the number is right there for you to call and schedule your test, and your ID number, everything is on this. I actually attached it to my fridge so I wouldn't forget my test date. I wrote it on there, 11/28 Saturday, so that reminds you when to go take your test. Then in terms of preparing for the exam itself, on page 16 of this handbook, they have about 7 different sections that they have divided the exam topics into, and you go through it and just familiarize yourself on the topics and all the information that you need to know. What I did is I didn't really prepare for this test, and I just went through the handbook, went through this list right here on page 16. 16, actually it's 16 through, let's say, 19, so about a couple of different pages. I marked all the things that I already knew, and the things that I didn't know, then I could go back and look it up and see, okay, what is it, and just to gain some knowledge about it before I go into the testing center. So that's what I did, and I found that very helpful, just looking up things that I didn't know and that might be on the test. And then once you're done with that, there is in the handbook, page 20, starts on page 20, there's about 10 different sample questions. I went through it, I got 9 out of 10 correct, so I was pretty happy with that. That's pretty good. Just to give you an idea on like the kind of questions, the way they ask the question, things like that. So go through that to prepare. And on the day of the exam, try to get there early so you can find where it is instead of hurrying through and rushing. And So you don't want to do that. Just go there early, find where you need to go, and then get there on time. You need 2 forms of ID. One is your picture ID. The other one, I think it can be one like a credit card with your signature on it, because they do compare your signature, because you do sign at the testing center on the paper that has all your information. There in the handbook itself, it gives you, there's 2 different things that you can take into the testing center with you. And let me see what page I can find that information. It's in your handbook, so when you go through it, you'll see where they talk about that. Basically, it's 2 different books. That's this DRG Expert. I didn't buy this book. If you want to go buy it, the nice lady in the coding department let me borrow it for a couple of days. So I would recommend you take this book with you, because you're allowed to take this book. Might as well. But before you go take the test, just go through and make sure you know where things are, how to find it. Just read over it a little bit, just to kind of know where all the information is, or how to navigate this book. So do that. That's this DRG Expert book. Then you can take one, they list 5 or 6 different drug books that you could take. Oh, you can only take one, by the way. So I have this Mosby's 2013 nursing drug reference book. Take this with you. You're allowed to take this with you. Let's see. Most of I wasn't going to take this with me, because I'm like, I've been a nurse for a long time and been working as a CDS, so I should know my meds. So I wasn't going to take it, but I did. On the day of the exam, I ran to the library and got the book. There was one drug on the exam. I was like, I'm pretty sure I know what this is for, but let me just double check. So I was able to use the drug book for that question. But one thing I could tell you is, don't try to find it in alphabetical order, because it's not listed. It might not be listed under the name that you're looking for. So go to the index page, find the medicine. That it's so much easier to find it that way than to look through and waste your time, because it's all about time. Another thing I wanted to tell you is, go to the washroom before you go into the testing, before you actually start the exam. There's when I went and took the test, there were other people, and they're not necessarily taking this exam. I have no idea what exam they were taking. So go to the washroom, because you don't want to be stuck in a 3-hour exam having to go to the bathroom in the middle of the test, because it is a time test and they're not going to stop for you to go to the washroom, because the time is you're gonna use your time up, so you don't want to do that. There's 120 questions and you have 3 hours. I was thinking, I'll be out in an hour and a half. No big deal. No, you're gonna need the whole time pretty much. You're tested on about 100 of those questions. 20 are pre-test questions. So yeah, you have 3 hours for 120 questions, like I said. I kind of wasted my time at the beginning of the test. I was kind of like, let me just make sure this is correct. Or I was looking in the DRG Expert book. So, and then I was like, oh my God, I only have this much time and I have this many questions to get through. So then I felt like I was kind of hurrying through the rest of the exam. So just really pay attention to your time. So you don't want to linger on one particular question or take too much time. You don't want to do that. So if you feel like you don't know how to answer that a particular question, or you feel like it's gonna need you're gonna need to spend a few extra minutes trying to figure out the question, just there is an option to mark that particular question, so that when you get to the end of the test, instead of going through the whole exam, you can just go through the things that you didn't answer, or the ones that you marked that you might want to come back to. So that's one thing that I really liked about this exam, is that option where you can go through the things that you were kind of not sure about. So yeah, keep an eye on your time. Don't linger too much on one question. If you are questioning yourself on, how am I going to do this, how I'm going to answer this, move on to the next one. Finish the exam and then you can come back to it. So once you're done with your test, you come out of the testing center. They give you the result right away. So when I came out of the testing room, I asked the lady, do I get my result right away? And she said yes. And she said, let me go and get the the paper off the printer. She came back and I said, did I pass? And she said yes. I was like, yay! I was so happy. So good luck to you on this exam. Like I said, print out, go to the website. That's let me just see here. It's hcpro.com, or just Google Clinical Documentation Specialist Certification, and you'll find the handbook. Go to their website and print out the handbook. So you need the handbook, you need the DRG expert book. Usually your coding department almost always have that book, and they will be happy to give you the 2013, because there's not that much change, and because they have the new one, so they don't mind they don't mind if you borrow, I don't think. So, and then your drug book. So those are the 3 things that you need to prepare for this test. And so good luck to you. God bless.